In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to use Model Magic to create a sculpture. In this case, it's a cheeseburger, or any kind of food you could use. But the first step that you want to do is to create a sketch of your idea. So in this case, I'm going to make a cheeseburger. So I have my sketch of my cheeseburger here, and then I have actually broken my sketch down into how many pieces I'm going to need and how many pieces I'm going to make. So I know I need 2 pieces for the bun, 1 piece for the lettuce, 1 piece for the patty, 1 piece for the cheese, a small piece for my 3 little pickles, and some tiny little scraps for my sesame seeds. Okay, so it's easier if you break your sculpture down into parts so that you know how to divide things up and how to proportion your package of clay. So I'm using just 1 little package of Model Magic for this. So this is going to be a little mini cheeseburger. So when you get your Model Magic, you want to knead it and wedge it and kind of warm it up a little bit. So it feels like marshmallow, and it's the weight of marshmallow, but don't eat it, it ain't marshmallow. Okay. So I'm just going to smush this up, and you'll see as your hands warm it up, it becomes more malleable and easier to manipulate. Okay, so looking at my sketch, I know that I need 2 pieces for my bun, I need a piece for my lettuce, a piece for my patty, 1 piece for my cheese, another piece for my pickles, and a little scrap for my sesame seeds. So it's 7 little parts that I need. So based on that, let's say I'm going to need maybe like this much for my bun. I might need this much for my patty. And I can adjust these as needed. Maybe this for my lettuce, this for my cheese, my pickles, and my little sesame seeds. So I have extra here, and I can do other things with that if I want. Maybe I add more to my bun and make my bun bigger, and I can also just try and play with this to see if this is going to work for me. Okay. So I've got all of my pieces portioned out. Okay, so here are all my pieces, all portioned out. Okay. So I need to add color to these. All right, so I'll show you how to add color in just a minute. Okay, so I want to show you how to add color to your Model Magic. This is just one way that you can add color to your Model Magic. So this portion is going to be for my cheeseburger bun. So I'm going to set these aside. And I'm just going to flatten that out just a little bit. So I'm just taking a marker, can be any marker. It's probably best that you don't use permanent marker because that will definitely stain your hands. So all I'm doing is just blotting the color into my Model Magic. And then I'm going to sort of wedge it back together. Your fingers are going to get a little dirty for this. And then I'm just pulling it apart and wedging it together, getting all that color in. This takes quite a bit of time to get the colors really bold and really dark. So this technique is good for lighter colors if you'd like. Okay, so you can see that this has changed. It's a really light tan. I want my cheeseburger bun to be a little bit darker. So again, you don't want to color this. You want to actually just sort of poke. Don't bust your marker, but you just want to poke at the surface a little bit, and then just keep doing that until you get the color that you're looking for. Now you can also leave it really swirly if you'd like, or you can keep massaging it and smushing it together to get the color totally blended in. So I'm going to keep doing this over and over again until I get the color that I like. I am not loving this grayish brown meat color, so I am going to show you a different technique on how to add color to your Model Magic that will fix my gray-brown meat situation. Okay, so I've got all of my pieces colored and molded. The only thing I haven't done is my sesame seed. And I'm having a little trouble lightening this color up and getting this one a little darker. So I'm going to show you how to do a couple of other coloring techniques to your Model Magic if this technique is not working for you. So I'm going to have to redo my patty, and I'll probably add some extra color to my bun as well. So I'm going to assemble this and let it dry, and then I'll show you our next techniques. So if you have extra Model Magic left and you want to save it, or if you're not finished on your project and you need to work on it in another time, you're going to take your extra Model Magic and you're going to wrap it up in its original package. Make sure that you're wrapping it up neatly so that no air is getting to it. In addition to wrapping it up in its package, I'm also going to place it in a Ziploc bag. So place it in the Ziploc bag, make sure no air gets to it. So I'm just going to roll it up neatly and zip it. So this will keep it fresh for a few days, and then you can continue to work on it at another time. All right, so my little Model Magic cheeseburger is dry. I let it sit overnight. You can speed this process up by using a hair dryer, but I just let it sit overnight and it's pretty dry. It's still a little soft, but it's not smushy like it was yesterday. Okay, so what we did yesterday is we added marker to the wet Model Magic, and that's how we got the current colors. I was not happy with my muddy gray patty, and my bun was not exactly the color that I wanted it either. So there's two different ways that you can add color in addition to the marker while the Model Magic is wet. So the easiest way is while your Model Magic is dry, you can simply just go in and color with marker. Now this gets a little tricky because if you've got something that's super intricate, as you can see, it can get all over some of your other parts. If that happens, you can take a little damp paper towel and wipe that off at the end when you're finished. You can use permanent marker for this, or you can use water soluble. This is a water soluble, which is why I'm able to wipe off any mistakes I have. If I use a permanent marker, you won't be able to do that. So I'm just going to go through here and color this in, and then I'll show you a third way to color your Model Magic after I'm done with my patty. Okay, so I've got my patty colored in with my marker, and I'm just taking a wet Q-tip and I'm just kind of wiping this bottom bun up a little bit. And as you can see, because my marker is water soluble, that you can see that it's sort of bleeding into the rest of my bun, which actually works out into my favor. Bob Ross would call that a happy accident, if you will. So that actually, I kind of like the way that's looking. So I'm going to use a different technique on the top just to show you a different technique. But you could essentially take some water-soluble marker and sort of spread it around up there to kind of blend in your colors. The other way to do this is just take some watercolors, and you can blend up and mix a color of your choice, and then you can add that to your work. So I'm just taking some, like an ochre color here, and I'm just going to add that to the top. And you can do a combination of watercolor and your water-soluble marker, which is kind of nice because both watercolors and your washable markers are water-soluble. So you can blend them together, you can mix them with one another to sort of create a color of your choice. So those are 3 pretty easy ways to add color to your Model Magic sculptures. Enjoy, have fun.